So what is a sequencer? Well, there's lots of different variations from the 60s to now, but basically all of them do the same thing in that they record notes that you want to be played, and then when you press a button, it plays those notes in the order you played them. Where things change are that some of the really early analog sequencers, you'll see that you have a bunch of horizontal knobs with incandescent light bulbs under each knob, and it steps through them, and you basically are setting the knobs to the voltage that you want that will make the oscillators go to the pitch that you want. And then it will cycle through those 8 or 16 or more knobs, and that is an analog sequencer. And in modern times, you can get an analog sequencer like something that's in the DFAM in the top row there with 8 knobs. And in the late 80s, I had a Roland MC500 microcomposer, which I really liked, and you could simply play your sequences into it or type your sequences into it. All of that used to be able to store onto a floppy. Modern sequencers, a lot of them are built into the keyboard. So here I have the Modal COBALT5S synthesizer, and it has a 512 note sequencer, and every one of those notes can have 5 notes at once. So it's very powerful. You can also have, in each of those steps, up to 4 knobs can be moving at each of those steps as well. And another really important thing about a sequencer, besides whether it's an analog sequencer or a digital sequencer, is whether it records in real time or if it's a step sequencer. A real-time sequencer means you can just play the way you want to play, in the style you want to play, at the speed you want to play, and when you play back, it will play something very, very close to what you played. It'll be microscopically different because of resolution, but to your ear, you won't be able to notice the difference. And now I'm going to play the sequence back, and notice that I can change the tempo because the sequencer didn't record the sound of me playing. It recorded the notes of what I played, and it's playing the notes back. So I can play them back at any tempo I want. I'll start medium and then speed it up. So now I'm going to do a different way, which is called step recording. Some keyboards give you a choice of real-time recording or step recording. A lot of them only give you step recording. And the beauty of step recording is you don't have to be able to play in time. You just hit each note or each collection of notes, and then it steps to the next step. So now this time I have it set up in step time. And so if I hit record, I'm not actually recording. I can record in this first step any number of notes from 1 to 5 because it's a 5-note sequencer. So I'm just going to pick a note. So now as I play back this step recorded sequence, it's going to play back very evenly with exact divisions of time that I picked in advance. And as you can see, changing the tempo doesn't do anything else to the song. It doesn't change the pitch. It doesn't change the tonality of it or anything, because it's not the sound that I recorded. It's what notes I pressed down that's recorded. And when I play that step sequence back, it plays those notes back into the synth, which plays the notes again, which is why they don't sound different depending on the tempo. And in the last 25 years, a really big development of sequencing, of course, is the digital audio workstation. That's where you have an application on your computer or smart device where not only can you record all of the notes in either real time or step time, but then you can see them on a screen, either written as notes or these things called piano roll, where you see them as little ovals that show each note and the duration. And you can click on them and drag them. You can change anything about them. You can cut, copy, and paste. And not only do you have MIDI going with those notes, but you can have tracks of audio that line up underneath your MIDI, and so you can edit audio, you can edit MIDI at the same time while you're editing effects. So that's a digital audio workstation, or a DAW. If you have any further questions about the many kinds of sequencers that we have available today, please contact your Sweetwater sales engineer. My name is Daniel Fisher. Thank you very much for watching.